Hello, it's Leslie Fightmaster. I wanted to let you know that I will be leading a yoga retreat coming up this July 10th through the 13th, and it is in Ojai, California. So it's a Thursday to a Sunday. If you would like information about it, please leave me a comment below. And this class today is flow class, and it is Parsva Bakasana variations or twisted crow. And Ela M was the person who asked for this class. So we're beginning on our backs with the knees bent and just connecting in with the breath. Some nice long smooth inhales and exhales through your nose. And I invite you to set an intention for your practice today if you'd like. It's just a way that you can connect in and make this practice more personal to you. All intentions are always welcome. So on your next exhale, just draw your knees into your chest and rock a little bit side to side. And then extend the legs up toward the ceiling, drawing the belly in and up. And just reaching out through the legs, little stretch in the hamstrings. If you've got any back issues at all, you're going to slide your hands right under your hips. Otherwise, we want the low back just in a natural position and not too arched. Lift your head and shoulders up off the mat. And then reach your right leg down toward the floor. If your neck gets tired at any time, cradle your head in your hands. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, left leg down. And keep the belly lifted. Inhale the left leg up. And exhale, reaching the right leg down, just warming up the abdominal muscles. Inhale, lifting the right leg. Exhale, release the left leg. Hover it above the floor. Remember, you can have your hands under your hips if your back bothers you here. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, right leg down. Reach through the toes. Inhale, lifting. And exhale the left leg down, reaching forward, reaching with the fingertips. Inhale to bring it up. Exhale, right leg down. Keep the belly lifted and keep breathing. Inhale it up. And exhale, left leg down. Keep reaching forward, lifting the belly. Inhale, left leg up. And exhale to release. And hug the right knee in and extend your left leg out onto the floor. Just taking a couple of breaths here. And then reaching again, head and shoulders off the floor. Try to get your shoulder blades to lift up off the floor as you reach. Holding here, but still breathing. If your neck gets tired, again, cradle the head in the hands. Keep extending through the left leg, lifting the belly and breathing and holding. And then extend the right leg up. Either stay where you are, exhale, lift up, touch your palms, lower down. Inhale. On the exhale, lift up and touch. Inhale to lower. Exhale, lifting. Inhale, lower back down. And once again, exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Keep the belly lifted. Exhale, reaching up, lower down, and hug your knees in. Then keep your left leg hugging in as you extend the right leg out. So we're using the belly muscles, the core muscles, to help make these movements. Reach the left leg off the floor, about a foot. Reach the fingertips forward. As you reach forward, you're holding and breathing. Again, cradle the head in the hands. If your low back bothers you, put your hands under the hips. Keep extending forward with the arms as you breathe here. Keeping the belly lifted any amount, lift up through your whole pelvic floor. Then reach your left leg up to the ceiling. Exhale, lift up. Inhale, lower. If you can't lift up all the way, lift up maybe a little. Exhale, lift. Inhale to come down. Exhale, lift, possibly touching the fingers. Inhale. Exhale to come up. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, reach and touch. Inhale to lower. And hug your knees into your chest. Just giving the knees a hug. So if it's too much to lift all the way up in those abdominal exercises, just do as much as you can. Take a break when you need to. Hit the pause button. So squeeze your legs together, arms to a T. Exhale, take your legs over to the left, looking over your right shoulder. So we'll work our side obliques. Inhale, legs through center. exhale and over to the right as you look over your left shoulder. We're reaching through the legs, keep the belly lifted. Squeezing the legs, inhale back through center. Exhale again to the left and take them on an angle, so towards your left palm. So the legs come back on an angle, looking over the right shoulder. Come back to center on the inhale. And exhale over to the right side as you look left. And as you take them to the right again, take them towards your right hand so they go back on an angle. Inhale back to center and release that, hugging it in. We'll take the feet to the floor, hips width apart. Make sure the outer edges of your feet are parallel. Inhale, lift into a bridge as you reach your arms up and overhead. And then exhale, lower back down one vertebra at a time, and then lift right up into a little crunch. Lower back down, inhale, reach the arms up and over as you take your bridge pose. Exhale, lower back down. When you get all the way down, pull the belly and lift your head and shoulders off the floor. Lift, lift, and lower down, inhale. Reaching up to stretch the whole front of the body. Exhale as you lower down and reach your fingertips forward. Inhale. And again, lower down, reaching the arms up, taking your bridge. And exhale, coming back down and lifting head and shoulders as you reach the fingertips forward. Inhale, lower, lift up, bridge pose, reach your tailbone toward the backs of your knees, stretching out. And exhale, lifting up, reaching forward. Inhale, and hug the knees into the chest. Give your knees another hug. Rocking a little, come back to your steady breathing, and then roll yourself all the way up to seated and right into the hands and knees. Wrists under the shoulders with knees under the hips. On your inhale, bring the heart forward and lift your chin, reach your tailbone up. Exhale, tuck and round, chin toward chest. Good. Inhale, coming forward, draw the heart forward through the gates of the arms, reach the shoulder blades towards your waist. As you exhale, press firmly into the floor, round the upper back, pull your rib cage and your belly in and up. Inhale, coming forward, even as you come forward here, keep a little lift in your belly. Exhale, round your back, chin toward chest. Once again, inhale. And this time, we'll walk the hands forward about a handprint. And keeping the hands there, tuck your toes and lift your hips up and back for downward facing dog. For this first down dog, feel free to move any way you like. You can bend one knee and the other to bicycle your legs. Just make sure your arms are shoulders distance apart, feet are hips width. Let's come way up onto the tiptoes. Bend the knees, take your belly back to your thighs, but keep your hips up high so you get all that length through the spine. And then as you keep the length in the spine, start to stretch your legs out. And maybe they won't straighten all the way. Maybe the hamstrings are a bit tight, and that's okay. I'd rather have length in the spine in this pose than straight legs. And don't even need to worry about heels touching. The gaze is right between your knees or feet, with your ears and your arms in the same line. Steady breathing. And your breath in and out through the nose. On your next inhale, make your way into plank pose. Bring your heart forward and reach back through your heels. As you lower down, slowly try to touch everything down at once. You can always put your knees down first. Inhale for a little cobra, peel the chest forward. So keep pulling forward as you reach your tailbone towards your heels and your inner thighs spin up toward the ceiling. And then we'll lower back down, tuck your toes. So either go right to down dog or lift the knees and belly muscles lift as you press up into plank and back into downward facing dog. Good. Looking forward and step or hop the feet. As you inhale, make a nice flat back looking up. As you exhale, folding forward. And on your inhale, and just shake your head yes, no, just release the neck and then reach all the way up as you inhale again. And exhale, bring the hands to your heart. Coming to the front of the mat, inhale, circle the arms out, around, and up. Exhale, hinge from your hips and fold forward. Inhale, come halfway up, keep your belly lifted. Exhale, stepping back into plank pose. and lowering chaturanga, shoulders no lower than the elbows. Inhale into up dog, roll the shoulder heads back, lift the chest, and exhale. Make your way back to plank, chaturanga, press up into plank, lift the hips into down dog. If that extra plank is a bit much, skip it, go right into downward facing dog. You can always hold plank as well. You don't even have to lower into chaturanga if you ever have any issues with your shoulders. You need to modify your practice for you. Look forward, step or jump the feet, inhale, flat back, exhale, release. Inhale, press through the feet, rising all the way up, inhaling all the way. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale again to reach up. Exhale to fold, hinging from your hips. Inhale, make a nice flat back. Keep your gaze slightly forward. Lift your belly, lift your whole pelvic floor. Exhale, step or jump back into chaturanga. Inhale, press through the hands and feet, spinning the inner thighs up. And exhale back to plank, chaturanga. Press up to plank and lift the hips into downward facing dog. So again, if that doesn't work for you, that sun salutation, you skip the extra plank. You can take the knees down in chaturanga. You can stick with cobra. Modify as you need to. Come back to the steady breath. Gaze between your feet or your knees. Keeping the belly drawn in, look forward. Step or jump on your inhale. Come to flat back. Exhale, fold forward, reach the crown of the head toward the floor, hips over heels. Inhale, root down, rise all the way up. And exhale, the hands. Again, inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale for a flat back, look up, keep the belly lifted, pelvic floor engaged. Exhale, step or float, chaturanga. Keep looking slightly forward. Inhale, coming into up dog or cobra pose, and exhale. Keep the belly lifted, press down, chaturanga, press up, plank, and downward facing dog. Breathing here. And if you want to take a little break, always feel free to take the knees down to child's pose. Push the pause button if you want a longer break. On your next inhale, float your right leg back and up, and then we'll bend the knee and open up the hips. So taking it off toward the left, but press evenly through the arms, reaching the right heel toward the floor. Then let's take it back, square off the hips, exhale, step it all the way through, right in the middle of the hands, spin your back heel flat for warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2, and then gaze over the fingertips here, coming back to nice steady breath. So we'll make sure your knee is over your ankle, and your knee, when you look down, lines right up over your second toe, and then start to drop your front hip down toward the floor as you lift your low belly, lifting the hip bones up towards your low ribs. Press your back thigh straight back, lifting slightly the inner thigh up toward the ceiling, and ground down through the outer edge of the back foot, but lift your back outer ankle, in and up. Extend through the arms evenly, so your back arm is as high as the front arm. Lift your chest. On your inhale, reverse your warrior. Rebend into the right knee. Take a nice side stretch. It's not a back bend. Stretch to the side body. Soften the shoulder blades toward the waist. Take a breath here. And then back into warrior two. Lean forward. Take your right forearm to your right thigh. Reach your left arm overhead for side angle, Parsva Konasana. You can also take your hand to the pinky toe side of the foot, but you don't have to. You can keep forearm on thigh. Try to open your chest toward the ceiling. So as you reach your arm in line with your ear, look up toward the arm, toward the hand. It's Urdhva Drishti, looking up. Keep pressing the inner back thigh up toward the ceiling, but shift your hips slightly forward to make sure the knee is still over the ankle. And then let's release the arm, coming back into warrior two on the inhale, and exhale, windmill the arms down, and either go right to down dog or lower through chaturanga. Inhaling into upward facing, and exhaling back, plank pose, chaturanga, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Left leg floats up, inhale. Bend the knee, open up your hips, so taking it out over toward the right side. Press evenly through the arms, reach down through the right heel. And then square off your hips. Looking forward, step it through right in between the hands. Spin the back heel flat and come into warrior two. So right now your front heel should be lined up with your back arch as you come into the pose. And then again, double check, making sure your knee is right over the ankle. And your inner back thigh spins up slightly toward the ceiling. And ground down through the outer edge of the back foot. As you reach up through all four sides of the waist, get really long through your torso, lift through your low belly, reach out through the arms, but soften the shoulder blades down toward the waist. At the same time, lift up through your chest and broaden your collarbones. And now just take a couple breaths. Gazing over the fingertips, coming back to your intention. Inhale to reverse, still on your intention with a side stretch. And then back to center, leaning forward. Take forearm to thigh, reaching over with your right arm. And you could take your left hand to the floor or keep forearm on thigh. Either way, try and turn your chest up toward the ceiling, your belly up toward the ceiling, looking up toward the arm or the hand. Keep pressing through the outer edge of the back foot, but lift up through the back inner thigh now. And just make sure the knee stays over the ankle and soften around the neck so there isn't any tension there. Inhale back into warrior two for a moment. Exhale, cartwheel the arms down. Take your vinyasa. You could always skip it and go to down dog. Lower chaturanga on your exhale. Inhale. Keep inhaling in your up dog. Exhale, back to plank. Chaturanga, lift the hips, and to down dog. And if you want a little break here, take the knees down to rest. Otherwise, stay in your down dog, gazing between the knees. Stretching out your spine. Make sure that you spread your fingers nice and wide in your down dog, and as you press into the base of the fingers, you lift away with your forearms so there's not so much pressure in your wrists. And just a couple breaths as we move, keeping our down dog. Let's float the right leg up again as you inhale. And exhale, step it through by the right hand. This time we'll take the left knee to the floor, untucking your toes. Left hand down, reach right arm up, inhale, coming into a little twist. So it's a pretty mild twist. Reach up through the top arm, keep the belly lifted, try and draw the right hip back. And let it drop down. Squeeze the left hip in towards center. Keep reaching up. Draw the shoulder blades down toward the waist. Now we're going to keep the arms just as they are, but bring your left hand off the floor so you're in a twist with your arms at a T. Try to keep your shoulders right above your hips. They're going to want to lean, you're going to want to lean forward in this one. So reach back strongly through your right arm. Then tuck the toes, squeeze the outer hips, inner thighs. See if you can get the back knee to come off the floor. If it doesn't, keep it down. Otherwise, you're in your crescent pose, the full crescent with the leg up. Inhale, coming back to center for a moment, and then swing your left elbow across for a prayer twist. So you can't really see my hands, but they're pressing kind of in a prayer position, palms touch, right at the center of my chest. And I try to turn the chest toward the thumb as I press my thumb toward my chest. And if you want to take it deeper, scoot your arm across towards your armpit, take your left hand to the floor, and reach up through your right arm. Sometimes people also wrap in this one. As you inhale, come on back through center through crescent pose. And drop the tailbone, lift the frontal hip bones so you get a big stretch in your quadricep muscle and your hip flexor on the left side of your leg. Exhale, and the hands down. Back to plank and lower chaturanga. Inhale, open the front of the body, breathing in. Exhale, chaturanga again. Lift up to plank and down dog. Inhale, left leg floats back and up. Exhale, bring it through. Stay on the ball of your back foot, but come down onto the knee and then untuck your toes. If you need padding under the knee, then put a blanket there. So left hand stays on the floor, reach up through the right arm. So stretching into your twist. Open up your chest, widen through your collarbones. Behind your back, you want your shoulder blades moving in toward each other. So it's almost like you're working toward a little back bend in your upper back. And the twist comes everything above the waist. So the belly twists and the rib cage and the chest. And then keep the arms as they are as you come up into a modified side twist. And again, everything from the waist up. The hips want to go too, but try and drop your left hip down as you pull it back. Tuck the back toes, squeeze your outer hips, inner thighs, lifting back knee up if it will. And breathe here. Still reaching through the arms, still twisted from everything above the waist. Now, right arm across. So now you can see the palms touching in the prayer twist. So as I press into my hands, I lift my chest toward the thumbs. Try and roll your top shoulder back. Drop your left hip down any amounts. If you want to take it deeper, left hand toward the floor, right arm reaching up. Sometimes you need to scoot your arm over a little bit so you can reach the floor with your left hand. Slowly release and come all the way back up through crescent. Bend the back knee and tilt your pelvis forward and zip up your belly and lengthen really tall, making sure your knee stays over the ankle. Spin your triceps in toward your face. Exhale the hands to the floor, lower chaturanga. Inhale back to up dog. Exhale and just right into down dog this time. So if you want to take a break, here's a nice time. You can take your knees down for a little rest. And as always, make it a longer rest by hitting the pause button. Keep stretching back and lengthening through the spine. And just keep your arms and ears in the same line and come back to your intention that you set for your practice. Connecting in. Look forward and step or jump, feet to hands. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, release. Inhale, bend the knees, drop the hips. Utkatasana, chair pose. Get the weight into the heels. And exhale to stand, Samastitihi. I'm going to take a little step toward the back of the mat. So have a little bit of room in the front. Inhale, bending the knees, Utkatasana. Sitting back in the imaginary chair. We're going to sit back a little bit deeper. And a little deeper, a little bit more. And then when you feel like you might fall, you can put your hands down. And if you think you can land without your hands down, do it that way. But lifting up into Navasana, so sitting all the way down. So Navasana, it's important to keep the back straight. So lower down, Ardha Navasana. If it hurts your back, you'll skip that part. So exhale to lower, inhale to lift. Exhale to lower, keep the belly in, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. If it bothers your back, just stay with bent knees sitting up. Exhale, lower. And inhale, cross your ankles. Press up around the upper back. Lift anything up and then step or jump back into chaturanga. Inhale. Take a nice up dog. That should feel good on the belly. Exhale, down dog. Right foot steps, back foot is flat. Rise up into warrior one. All the way up. Pull the right hip back. Left hip's coming forward. Lift the belly. And like crescent pose, we want a nice long low back. Exhale, chaturanga, or skip it, go to down dog. Inhale, into upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, left foot steps back, foot is already flat. Rise up as you inhale, pulling left hip back, sending right hip forward. Exhale, and lower down, chaturanga. Inhale. Pressing up, exhale, stretch back into downward facing dog. And again, breathing here or taking the knees down to rest. Looking forward, step or jump, inhale. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, bend the knees, Utkatasana, reaching all the way up, and exhale, hands to heart. And let's take Utkatasana again. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale. This time in toward Bakasana. So bring your knees up towards your armpits. And they might slide down. So you can take a lower Bakasana. Or if you can get the knees up higher, you'll take them up higher. Round the upper back, pull your belly in, and step or jump into Chaturanga. Inhale into upward dog. Exhale back into downward facing dog. Right foot steps back, foot is flat. Rise up on your inhale. And exhale. Hands to the heart, and we'll add a twist. This time back foot is flat, so the twist is deeper now. So you can keep your palms facing or pressing together, or you can take your hand to the pinky toe side of the foot. This is the full expression of Pavrita Parshva Konasana. If it's too much, pick up your back heel and stick with crescent. Right arm is reaching forward. There's a nice long line of energy in this pose. Keeping the breath steady, keep the knee over the ankle, and then we'll exhale and take our vinyasa. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, and back to down dog. Inhale, step the left foot forward, back foot is flat. Rise up. You're lined up front heel with back heel in this pose. So you can try and square up the hips as best you can. Take your right elbow across for your prayer twist. So the back foot is flat, so it does make it more difficult to get into this twist. Reach through the back leg, drop the left hip down, pull it back. Stay with that, or left hand comes to the floor. Reach the right arm up and over. Keep pressing firmly through the outer edge of your back foot. It's really hard to keep that back outer edge down. And if it's too much, again, pick up your back heel, coming into a twisting crescent pose instead. This pose is pretty difficult, so if you're struggling with it, just know that this is a pretty strong pose. Releasing down, look forward, and lower Chaturanga. Inhale, coming up, and exhale into down dog. And again, stretching back. Looking up. Step or jump your feet as you inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold, shift the hips over the heels. Inhale, bend the knees, drop the hips, Utkatasana. And exhale, Samastitihi. And a little bit of balance. So picking up the right leg, make sure you ground down through the left. You can hold on to the shin or take the toe, extending the right leg out. Don't feel pressure to take the toe. You can always just stand with the knee bent. It's a beautiful pose to stand up nice and tall. Make sure the standing leg is straight. Try and pull your right shoulder back into its socket as you drop your right hip down. Squeeze your left hip in. Find one spot to focus on, and we'll add a twist. So left hand to pinky toe side of right foot, or you can take your left hand to the outside of the right knee. So twist here, reach out through the arms, try and turn your torso toward the side wall. Lifting the chest, find a nice steady gazing point. Come back to center, reach your arms up, stretch your leg out, hold it up. 3, point the toes, get energy through the feet. 2, and 1, releasing. And now left side, ground down through the right leg, picking up the left leg, hold on to the shin with a bent knee. Or reach down, grab your toes, and extend the left leg out in front of you. As you extend it out, pull your left shoulder back. Try and drop your left hip down any amount and squeeze the right hip in. Gazing over your fingertips, maybe find one spot to focus on that's not moving. I usually focus about at eye level or on the floor in front of me. And now right arm comes across. Take the pinky toe side of the left foot as you reach out through your right arm. Stretching out through the arms, lifting up through the chest still. And if the leg's not straight, of course, you take the hand to the outside of the left knee. Then back to center. Reach up through the arms, keep the leg lifted, point the toes, stretch through the toes, belly, belly lifted, 3, 2, and releasing. Back to the front of the mat and bend the knees, drop the hips. We're going to come down into a low squat. So I'm up on the toes. You can be on your heels if that works for you. For side crow, taking the right elbow across, try to glue your right elbow onto your right knee. At the same time, glue your left elbow onto your left knee. Then lean forward, make chaturanga arms, the elbows bend, squeeze the legs. If you can balance here, and I had that little thing behind me, I kept reaching, lifting, knocking into, bring your bottom leg forward, lift your top leg back so you can scissor out the legs, and then we'll come back to center. So that's one way to do it. Another way, which I call the first way kind of the cheater method, this is the non-cheating way. You take your right arm across, but put it right in the middle of your leg. See my left arm, it's not connected to my body, and then I lift up and extend the legs or not. I find this way more difficult. I like the cheater way better, but sometimes the second way is easier than the first for some people, so that's why I like to show both options. All right, so we're gonna turn and do the other side. Bringing the left elbow across, glue it to the right knee, right arm glued to the right hip, and leaning forward, chaturanga arms. If you're balanced here, reach out through the legs. Again, I'm going to the bench. Also, you can't see this, but I'm like right over the edge, and underneath me is concrete, so I was a little bit nervous. Come back to center. I feel pretty steady in the pose, but still, it was a little undaunting. I just didn't have room. I didn't have my regular spot today to make my video. Okay, one more. So, got a little confused. Left arm across, this time take it right to the center of your leg, and your right arm is not going to touch your body. As you lean forward, so I was a little nervous, pick up the feet, keep lifting, try and lift the shoulders, lift the belly, squeeze the legs. You can extend the legs out or not, and then make your way back into downward facing dog. So that is one way, actually a couple of ways, a couple of variations. Let's take a little child's pose to rest. It's a couple of variations on how to get into Parsva and then I'm going to do one more variation before we cool down. So again, reaching forward, coming back into down dog. And then on your inhale, float your right leg up, exhale, and step it through by the right hand. Stand the ball of the back foot, coming again into crescent. Spin the triceps in toward each other. Lift the belly and drop the tailbone down. Now, taking the left elbow across, we're going to do a prayer, like a prayer twist, but I'm going to lean forward. Oh, that couch. Lean forward and reach out through the legs. In a perfect world, my head would be extended as well. But here's another way that you can get into the pose. Come back to center and moving through your vinyasa. So if you want to try that one again, hit pause and go through it once again, or a few times if you like. Left leg up, or you can move on with me, step it forward, coming into crescent. So it's like you're coming into your crescent twist, but instead of pressing the palms together, try to scoot the arm way over, bring it to the floor, and the other arm glues to the hip. As you lean over to the side, you can extend the legs out as I hit that little couch. Reach out through the legs. Keep extending, lift your belly, squeeze your pelvic floor muscles, come back to center, and move through your vinyasa. So again, push the pause button, play with those poses a little bit more. You're totally warmed up for it. You can work on it some more if you'd like. Or maybe you do this video again. Maybe it doesn't work today, but next week you get it, or 2 weeks from now. And it never matters if you get into the pose or not. What matters is you're focused on getting into the pose, because when you're focused on getting into the pose, you're not focused on anything else. You have the time just right in the moment, just being present, and your mind isn't chitter-chattering away. Let's come down to the knees, back to hands and knees. And bring your right knee in front of your left knee and sit back for Gomukhasana legs. So it's a hip opener. If this hip opener doesn't work for you, you can take another one that does. Lift your left arm up, bend the elbow, take your right arm behind you. I'm clasping hands, but if you can't clasp hands, you could hold your shirt. Exhale and fold over the legs. I like this hip opener because for me, it didn't bother my knees. And it was a good way to open my hips that didn't hurt my knees. If your knees hurt during hip opening, the knees are like the gateway to the hip. They're telling you, let's not go quite so deep. So I had to find a hip opener that I could practice that would help my hips but not hurt my knees. This one might not be the one for you. You can always cross your shins like a Sukhasana pose and fold over the legs that way instead. Now I'm going to do a little, I think I did, a little fancy transition. So I've got the right knee on top of the left, and I need the left knee on top of the right. So I'm going to come forward into a tripod headstand. My head is forward, elbows are right over the wrists. My legs are crossed. I come up, I switch the legs, so I straighten them out, and then I put the other leg in front and cross them and make my way back down slowly, so that when I come down, I'm all set up for the other side. It's kind of fancy. You don't have to do it that way. You know what you could do? You can just switch your knees. That's just as nice. So lifting the right arm up this time. Take your left arm behind you for the arms to open the shoulders. If you don't want to fold forward, if you have a nice stretch already, just stay sitting up. And if you can't clasp your hands, always remember, first of all, you're still a good person. And secondly, you can just hold your shirt. It's fine. Our bodies open as they open. And it's not a contest. It's not about who can get into the craziest pretzel pose. It's about who can breathe and stay present and focused. Inhale to come up. And let's come back onto crossing the ankles, lifting up, a little core work, and step or jump back. Inhale back into up dog. Nice long up dog for this one to open the front of the body. Exhale in downward facing dog. And looking to the hands. We're going to come all the way through to sit. So bend the knees and step or jump through. And then sit yourself down and lie on your back. Take your feet hips width apart with your heels under the knees. And then coming into bridge. So lift up into your bridge pose. You can either have your palms flat or roll the shoulders under, clasping the hands. Keep your chin away from your chest and breathe into the chest. Spiraling the thighs toward each other like you're holding a block. Take a few more breaths here. And then lower down. Soles of the feet together, knees apart. Supta Baddha Konasana to rest. And then let's go again. Feet hips width apart, arms by your sides for bridge, or if you want to go all the way up, you can take your hands up by the ears for full wheel pose. So going into bridge, roll the shoulders under, keep breathing into the chest. Squeeze the outer hips in, but you don't clench the whole buns, not the whole buns clenching. So, and if you want to add full wheel, first to the crown of the head, line up your wrists right under your elbows, and then pressing into the arms to come into your back bend. Spiral the thighs in toward each other. Press your chest away from your hips. And reach your tailbone toward the backs of your knees. Chin toward chest to come down. And then we'll just take a little break. This time, just letting the knees fall in toward each other. always like the feeling after coming down from the back bend. It's a nice invigorating feeling that's very calming. All right, one more. Either bridge or hands up by the ears, fingertips facing the heels. Make sure your feet don't turn out and your elbows don't splay out to the sides. Line up wrists and elbows, pressing up. You can walk your feet in a little bit on this one if you feel like that's appropriate. But really just work for length in the front of your body. So again, it's not who can do the deepest back bend, it's who can stretch out the front of their body in a way that feels nice. And I'm pressing more into my chest on this one, so that my upper back and shoulders get kind of tight, so that feels nice to me. Coming down, hug the knees into the chest. Apanasana pose. And just rocking a little side to side, gives the low back a nice massage. And then we'll roll up to seated. Take a couple rocks all the way up and down the spine 2 or 3 times. Kind of fun anyway. And then reach the legs out in front of you. Bend your right knee in for Janushirasana. Pull your left toes back. Inhale, get nice and tall. Exhale, turn toward the straight leg, folding, hinging from your hips. As you inhale, we'll just keep lengthening through the spine. And then as you exhale, each time maybe getting in a little bit deeper. If you can't reach your foot, just hold on to your shin or your knee. Or if you have a strap, you can put the strap around the foot. You can stay up as high as you like. Remember when I first started, I couldn't get anywhere close to my foot. Inhale, head up. Exhale to release. We'll straighten the right leg, bend the left. Sitting up tall, reach the arms up. Inhale, turn toward the straight leg. Exhale, hinge from the hips. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, extend. Soften around the neck. I would go to yoga classes when I first started practicing, and I would see all of these bendy people just lay over their legs, kind of like what I'm doing. And I was not even close. I couldn't touch my foot, and I couldn't understand how everybody else did. But I kept practicing. I kept just trying to leave my ego at the door, which is not an easy thing to do sometimes. Inhale, head up. Exhale to release. And then over time, I've gotten more flexible. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold forward, Paschimottanasana. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, extend forward. I remember the first time I touched my foot was in that last pose that we did, that Janushirasana. I was so excited. It was a good feeling. Any progress always feels good in whatever we do. Keep reaching the crown of the head forward as you lift your belly, coming into nice steady breaths. The breathing is so important in our practice. And poses come and poses go. So it's the breath that really makes the practice, linking the breath and the movement, and making your practice beautiful for you. So if you get an injury or you have tightness in the body, it doesn't matter. Just do and modify your practice in a way that suits your body. Inhale the head. Exhale to release. Lie all the way back and hug the knees in. And rock a little here side to side, and then take the arms out. And take your knees over to the left as you look off to the right side. I have my right knee crossed over the left. It makes the twist deeper. You can try that if you like, or just put the knee on top. And back to center, uncross. Recrossing left over right or not, knees to the right, looking left. And just starting to reconnect with your breath, letting it slow down a little bit. In a moment, we'll be in Shavasana, and we won't even have our Ujjayi pranayama anymore, just natural breathing. So draw the knees in once again to the chest. Lengthen the tailbone toward the floor. And then extend the legs out, getting ready for your Shavasana. So take a few moments here in your Shavasana to get comfortable. And if you want to cover up with something, or so if I have a blanket handy, I like to roll it up, put it under the knees sometimes, or put a little neck roll under my neck or a little pillow under my head, just a little tiny pillow, not a big thick one. And then let everything just sink into the floor. So now is your rest so that all of the work that you just did can be absorbed into not just your body, but your mind. So let yourself surrender and relax. While you're here in your Shavasana, I'm going to read our quote for this week. This is a quote by Dorian Israel from a book called Unbound. Choose well which thoughts you wish to feed into the atmosphere today, for each thought contains within it the seed of what you will harvest as your experience tomorrow. It is your spirit that should select the vision to be viewed, not the mind. The mind is the projector, and the universe is the screen. Life is a living canvas. I hope you enjoyed your practice today. So you can stay in your Shavasana as long as you like. In a moment, I'm going to start moving to reawaken the body. May you take your time. I do have a donate button below. If you are able to donate to help keep our free videos coming, it would be wonderful. If you can't afford to, I would love it if you would tell a friend and spread the word. Every time we get more people watching, we just get more views. It's wonderful. And I love all of your comments. Let's start to reach through the arms and legs and stretch overhead, reaching. And then we'll take the arms down as you roll yourself off to the right. And just take a moment to come back to the intention that you set for your practice, if you did set one today. And slowly make your way up to seated. And taking the hands together in front of your heart, Anjali Mudra. A moment to honor and respect yourself. And then hands to the forehead, reminding us to have clear and loving thoughts. And hands to the heart, reminding us to have clear and loving intentions. Hands to the mouth, reminding us to have clear and loving communications. I thank you for coming today, taking your practice. Namaste. Please subscribe if you haven't, and press the like button. Leave me, if you liked the video, that is, leave me comments if there are classes you'd like to see. Bye.